Welcome back, MG fam, to our Master Series here on NBA 2K11. And after being eliminated by the Utah Jazz in the Western Conference Finals in only 5 games, so you guys can see that Chicago ended up advancing after defeating the 76ers in a 7-game series. So you have the Jazz returning to the finals, and they're going to try to win back-to-back NBA championships. So now we're going to go ahead and simulate the finals. And Chicago won game 1 and game 2. And the Jazz took game 3 as well as game 4. And game 5 goes to them as well. So that's 3 wins in a row for the Jazz. And game 6 goes to Chicago. And it all comes to a game 7. And the Bulls are your NBA champions this year. And the finals MVP award goes to Derrick Rose, who averaged 24 points per game, almost 7 assists. And he did all of that while shooting only 8% from 3. So after 9 years, Derrick Rose finally got his first NBA championship. So with the conclusion of the playoffs, we're going to jump into the offseason. And you guys can see we have 4 players retiring this year. First up, you got Joe Johnson retiring after 16 years. And the Lakers will be losing Paul Gasol this year. He wraps up his career at the age of 36. And Nene wraps it up as a Nugget after 15 years of service, and Yao Ming finally gives his goodbyes to the Houston Rockets after 15 years. So now sliding on to our roster, and you guys can see the final ratings. After a great season for Julian Hines, he didn't receive any ratings boost. The most improved player on our squad was Henry Lambert, who received 4 ticks. And you know, this guy's going to jump right into the free agency and try to get a max deal. And Aldridge didn't do anything. And Bassey got 2 added to his as well. And Frazier got 2 ticks. And Soto bumped up 3 ticks to a 72 overall. Burke a 71 overall. And the only players to regress were Hassan Whiteside. He lost a tick. He went down to an 84 overall. Martell Webster dropped all the way down to a 65 overall, and J.R. Smith lost 3 ticks. He's down to a 73 overall. So next, let's talk about the team options. So we declined Julian Waters' option, but we accepted Rodgers and Burke, as well as Soto and Nicholas Frazier. And you guys know we had to decline Martell Webster option, $5 million per year for a 67 overall. No way. And you know we had to resign our guy Bassey. Now moving along to the upcoming free agents, you got LeBron declining his player option. It's going to be interesting to see where he heads. And you got Chris Paul getting tired of things over there in New Orleans. I wonder if him and LeBron will team up. Maybe. Banana Boat Brothers. Now on to the draft lottery. The team with the highest probability to get the top pick is the Washington Wizards. And Cleveland is right behind them, followed by the Houston Rockets and San Antonio Spurs. The most talented team in the lottery at this moment is the Los Angeles Lakers, and it will be interesting to see what they do with their pick. So Portland ended up with the 14th pick, and the Knicks got the 13th pick, and the Warriors got the 12th. Pistons with the 11th, and the 10th pick goes to the Mavericks. Pacers got the 9th, the Nuggets with the 8th, the 7th pick goes to the Bucks. Orlando got the 6th, San Antonio got the 5th, the Rockets got the 4th, and the Lakers jumped all the way to the top 3. And Cleveland has the 2nd overall pick, and Washington, like we expected, got the top pick. So this year we have the 21st overall pick, and I will say that's a pretty decent spot to snag a quality player. So now we're going to jump right into the draft, and on the clock, you have the Wizards, who will select Jake Hansen, the point guard from Grambling. And Cleveland picked Cedric Garrett, the power forward from UCLA, with the 2nd pick. And the Lakers picked up Joel Dawkins, the shooting guard for Texas A&M. Could he be Kobe's replacement? And with the 4th pick, the Rockets picked up Jalen Bridges, the center out of Connecticut. It seems like they've been picking centers for the last few years. And the San Antonio Spurs picked up Simon Norton, the shooting guard from Florida State. And with the 6th overall pick, the Magic selected Wally Morris, the small forward from Texas Tech. And the Bucks chose shooting guard Andre Crawford from Utah. And the Nuggets selected a center with the 8th pick, Don Norman from Georgia Tech. And the Pacers chose Lamar Green from South Carolina with the 9th pick. And the Mavericks picked up a shooting guard, Kobe Harden, with the 10th pick. And the Pistons selected a point guard, Monty Knight, with the 11th pick. And with the 12th pick, the Warriors selected center Bill Jamison from Pepperdine. And with the 13th pick, The Knicks selected Preston Hawkins, the shooting guard from Mississippi. And with the 14th pick, the Blazers selected Ron Powell from California. So the Jazz have 2 picks in the first round, and with their 16th pick, they selected a shooting guard, Marvin Galloway from Miami. And we have a trade on the board. You can see that the OKC Thunder will be trading away the 17th pick and Aaron Gray for the Nuggets, Herbert Perkinson. And with that pick, the Nuggets selected Cameron Lewis, another small forward. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward to our pick, which is the 21st pick, and we're going to select Mr. Matt Fawkes, a 6'8" small forward from Memphis. They're saying this kid NBA comparison is Rashard Lewis. You guys remember we had Rashard on our team a couple years back, and we would love to have someone that plays like him, a 3-and-D guy. You can see he's a B on defense. His outside game is a B as well. We don't know his potential, but his inside defense and man defense is on point. So we're going to fast forward to the second round, where we had another trade between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the OKC Thunder. So Oklahoma City has been busy making trades, and they will trade away David West and their second rounder for next year for the second pick in the second round. And with that pick, they selected Chuck Gibbs, a center out of Colorado. I think that was a pretty decent pick for this team, because when we faced those guys in the playoffs, they had issues slowing us down in the interior because they didn't have anyone down there that could compete. So we're going to just jump to the end of the second round and give you guys a quick overview of the players selected. So the Wizards picked up Jake Hansen, who's a 77 overall, so a solid pick for the top player there. And the Cavaliers pick, which was Cedric Garrett, ended up being a 74 overall. And the Lakers got a solid shooting guard in Joel Dawkins. He's a 77 overall. Jalen Bridges, the center that was selected by the Rockets, he's a 78 overall. And the Spurs got a shooting guard in Simon Norton. He's a 72 overall. And the Magic, Wally Morris, is a 74 overall. And then the Bucks selected Andre Crawford, who ended up being a 65 overall. And Don Norman, the center selected by the Nuggets, is a 71 overall. And the Pacers pick, which was Lamar Green, ended up being a 66 overall. And Kobe Harden, who was the Maverick selection at shooting guard, he's a 68 overall. And the Pistons picked up Monty Knight, who ended up being a 70 overall. And the Warriors selection of Bill Jamison ended up being a decent one, where they got a 69 overall center. And jumping to our pick, which was Matt Fawkes, he's a 61 overall small forward, and we think we did pretty well with that. So we saw a few teams make some logical selections and some that didn't, but we aren't sure until we see how this thing plays out this season. So now that the draft is over, we're going to slide over to the free agency period, and you guys can see that we have 2 offers on the table for restricted free agents, and we're going to accept one of these, which is the Julian Hines offer. And you guys know we're going to decline the Julian Waters offer. So if anybody offered Julian Hines more than $5.15 million per year, we would have opportunity to match it, but if not, we would have this guy on a $5 million deal. So after simulating through the free agency period, you guys can see that we were able to keep Julian Hines without offering him any more money. And the Spurs picked up Carlos Boozer on a 1-year deal. This guy has been roaming around the league these last few years. And the Nets ended up picking up Evan Turner to replace LeBron. And Austin Mayo is heading to the Mavericks on a 4-year deal. And Chris Paul is coming to our division on a 3-year deal after signing with the Grizzlies. And Elliott Williams got him a 4-year deal out there in Houston. And then you got Antonius Papadoulis, however you say his name. He's going to the Nets on a 4-year deal. And Kenneth Godfrey will play with the 76ers this year on a 2-year deal. And Lucas Hoffman will head to the Wizards. And DeAndre Jordan is leaving the West Coast, and he will be playing with the 76ers on a 4-year deal. And the Rockets ended up taking our guy Henry Lambert on a 5-year deal. Yo, he almost has a max contract. And Alfonso Owens will be heading to the New Orleans Hornets. And then you have Willie Horsley going to the Celtics. And the Warriors picked up Gus Harrington, the former Mav, on a 4-year deal. And the Nets signed Gordon Paxson on a 5-year deal. And the Spurs picked up Hayden Augustine on a 4-year deal. And the Raptors read up with Elmo Newman on a 5-year deal. And the Trailblazers signed Mladen Lukovsky to a 3-year deal. And the Wizards ended up taking Caron Nicholas off the Spurs' hands with a 5-year deal. And the Jazz signed Grant Vilma to a 4-year deal. And the Clippers picked up Glenn Miles on a 5-year deal. And the Spurs secured Harry Jenkins on a 5-year deal. And the Trailblazers signed Jackie Sloan to a 4-year deal. So you guys didn't see LeBron James' name up there, so we don't know what he's trying to do. Maybe he's just going to sit out this season, pull a Michael Jordan, and come back when he's ready, or will he just wait to see which team needs him? But it looks like he doesn't want a multi-year deal. So we're going to slide to the training where we trained a couple players. And first up, we got Dante Bassi. He was sent to camp for his athleticism. And you guys can see his vertical went up 5 ticks and his speed went up 5 ticks. And we also sent Dedrick Burke to a perimeter shooting camp. And you can see his shot medium went up 4 ticks, shot 3-point, 4 ticks, and shoot off the dribble, 4 ticks. And we also sent our backup point guard, Nicholas Frazier, to perimeter shooting camp. And he received 4 ticks on his shot medium, shot 3-point, and shoot off the dribble. So a quick look at the free agency pool here. You guys can see LeBron, the top player in the free agency pool, unsigned, 32 years old, still in his prime. And you got DeJuan Blair there, and you got O'Brien following him, and Underwood. So some great names still in the free agency pool. And taking a look at our roster, we have a pretty nice roster. Not much has changed since last year. We added Maurice Spates to our team to give us that 6-man. Losing Henry Lambert, we will see that fall off a little bit, but it won't be nothing crazy. But as always, man, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Hit that like button and that notification bell, and let's get this season jumping. The next time you guys will see us, we will be hosting our season opener.